Laws of vector addition. In this video, we are going to talk about two different laws of vector addition. So let's begin. Triangle law of vector addition. Let us consider two vectors A and B and their sum is vector R. So I'm going to consider a vector. So this is my vector A and this is my vector B. If I want to find the sum of these two vectors, what we need to do? We need to connect the tail of first vector with the head of second vector. And if we do that, we'll get a vector something like this, which is vector R. So we can write the sum of the resultant vector R is given as vector R is equal to vector A plus vector B. Now, if we draw a vector opposite to vector V, I will get a vector something like this, which is basically a negative vector B because this vector is opposite to vector B. So in that case, the resultant vector will be this vector, which is vector R dash. So we will write if the direction of the vector has changed, then the sum of the vector is given as vector R dash is equal to vector A minus vector B. And this is known as triangle law of vector addition. Now, the next law that we are going to talk about is parallelogram law. And you can easily guess that this law of vector addition is based on parallelogram. So the law states that let us consider two vectors A and B representing the adjacent sides of a parallelogram. So basically what we are doing, we are considering the vectors A and B along the sides of a parallelogram. Let vector R represent the sum of two vectors A and B and denoted by the diagonal of the parallelogram. So this is vector A, this is my vector B, and I have my resultant vector R, which is this vector. Now this doesn't look like a parallelogram, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to complete the parallelogram. So if I complete the parallelogram, you will see a picture like this, which is a parallelogram where this and this is vector A, this and this is vector B. So basically, as you can see, sum of vector A and vector B is basically vector R. Or you can go another way, vector B plus vector A is also vector R. Then we will write the sum of the resultant vector R is given as vector R is equal to vector A plus vector B. And this is basically the parallelogram law of vector addition.